Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a pretty entertaining email that was sent from a subscriber. This from a guy, sounds like he's probably in his mid-20s or so, and he writes in sharing the story of how his younger brother, not too long ago, who's 22, let him know that his girlfriend's pregnant, and that he's going to do the honorable, traditional thing of marrying her without question. And of course, this guy's like, are you out of your freaking mind for having you-know-what without protection, and now blindly going into this without any kind of proof that this is your kid? And of course, the brother flies off the handle, doesn't want to hear this whole thing, and ultimately it leads to this guy here presenting this guy with a paternity test at a time that, believe me, caused a whole lot of turmoil and drama. And ultimately, you're going to see in the end who was right. The younger brother who blindly trusted his girl who would never ever cheat on him, or the brother who watches this kind of content and suggests you might want to get a paternity test. Take a wild guess who's going to be right. And I thought this would be a great example why to point out for the relationship guys. I get guys coming in here all the time that you must always wear protection. Always wear protection. Always dispose of your protection, and I might add, always provide your own protection, because as many of you are aware and have heard the stories, there are gals out there that reach a point that they're ready to settle down. Their guy doesn't want to, and to speed along the process to the altar, they get pregnant by poking holes in the protection, saying they're on the pill, so don't worry about that. Or even when a guy throws his protection in the trash, she uses it after he leaves to make sure she has a little swimmers go into her, that type of thing. Or if a gal sees a wealthy guy who wants to trap him, again, same thing, pulls that type of crap. Or if you do use protection and suddenly she's pregnant, you need to question things, okay? And why you must always do a paternity test, okay? I don't care what anybody says. And of course, a lot of people will fly off the handle, her friends, maybe even your friends or parents. It doesn't matter, because if she has a kid and you blindly go into it and you're on the birth certificate, you got a problem if you find out down the road that kid's born and that kid clearly doesn't look like you. So you need to do that. And you can't be so blind that, it'll never happen to me, she'll never cheat. Bullshit. You've heard these stories. So I'm going to go over here. But before I go into it real quick, with the theme of this story, I'm going to read a quick email from a subscriber. This guy's definitely older, I'm guessing at least 50 plus, who shares exactly why guys aren't getting married nowadays, aren't doing relationships, his points about the whole thing, and had a question for the community. He says here, hello SSM. I've been a fan since 2021 and had a great dose of reality from all men that are willing to listen. I've heard all kinds of stories from you and your videos from other RP content creators, some moderate, some extreme, etc. It can be quite easy to be overdosed with RP extremism, just like the Effinist and Me Too are being exactly what the left is constantly accusing men of, so I do try to balance and have an open mind. You gotta balance, and I'm in the middle on things. A lot of people like me because they think I'm balanced in the middle of the road. There are definitely extremes out there, but sadly, a lot of what I talk about is pretty common. Just like you said, not all women are 304s, this and that, only a Sith deals in absolutes. However, it does seem like the majority are, mainly because they are enabled to do so by the majority of men and the system. Like it does not matter what you do, the moment you get involved with someone, you are allowing the government to screw you over like they always do, and the only way to win is not to play in the first place. Right. Guys you all know how the family courts are to these poor guys. I mean, it's just awful. Right? She can cheat, and if you're in a no-fault divorce state and all that, so what? They don't care. She gets half. And likely the house, the kids, all that's terrible. Or you do common law marriage and you're just living together, and after a while, depending where you live, she still gets claimed to some of your stuff. What the hell's the point of a guy doing this? Getting married anymore, relationships, and also how they behave nowadays. Not all, but how a hell of a lot behave nowadays. This is why guys are walking away. They're saying, I'm not just marriage, not just relationships, dating. I know plenty. All ages are doing it, and more are doing it. And you see the articles popping up about how women are frustrated that guys aren't getting married and that governments are crapping their pants because the birth rates have plummeted. Gee, and particularly in the countries where feminism has taken an iron grip. It's not hard to connect the dots and see reality. It's not in men's interest anymore. One could argue it never was, but it certainly isn't nowadays. And until things become more balanced and fair towards men, more are going to go down this path. He says you can give it 6 months and let a girl make the first move to ask for exclusivity. You can give it 4 to 5 years before moving in with the girl. You can give it another 3 to 4 years to propose and maybe the same amount of time being engaged until it's official. That's 10 plus years, and if one day she decides she wanted out and the state is a no-fault divorce state, you still lose. Even if no marriage, there's still common law marriage because, of course, the government has to have their way in controlling every aspect of our lives. The boomers and Gen X, this 304 lifestyle was less common back then, so they don't get it. And they constantly saying you need to get out there, take risks, and get your heart broken because it's worth being in love and lost and never lost at all. That is the biggest bunch of crap ever, and that's all in the freaking movies. Better to love and lose and have your heart broken than never at all. No thank you. Very romantic comedies, and conveniently they always leave out divorce, alimony for life, and the other spouse undeniably cheating. To them, the negativity is only the minority, and you are just a selfish coward for not wanting to do what you're supposed to do for society. Right, that is an attitude out there. I got so many guys that write in saying, SSM, I watch your stuff, I have experience in this, I see what happens to my bros, but yet my parents and grandparents don't get it. They absolutely refuse to believe it's that bad. And then I got other people write into me that are older, 50s, 60s on up, and they say, SSM, wow, you guys are right. I can't believe how crazy it is out there. I want to protect my sons. I want to protect my grandsons. It says here, I dare say most men would cave to the pressure. But I just stopped talking about this altogether, and they can think what they like. My life, my rules. Guess this makes me a selfish a-hole according to society, but I'm a proud a-hole. Well, dude, get in line, because there are plenty of quote-unquote selfish a-holes popping up every day that are going to do what's best for them for once. They're done this song and dance. People these days really need to learn how to shut the fuck up and mind their own business. Well, bro, I can tell you one thing. You can count on certain things in life. Death, taxes, war. And you also can count on that people are not going to shut the fuck up. And people always are going to have an opinion and all that. And look how divided we are as a nation right now. Everybody has to be heard, even though they have nothing really to say. They just want their drama and their opinions. Now, people can make the same comment about me. But I'm doing a show here and sharing stories about real shit that happens to guys to help guys. Finishing up, he says, what do you think, SSM? And also, for any lawyers or investors out there, if one must get into a relationship, how can he best safeguard his assets from the vultures of marriage and the government? Unlike the football player Hakimi from PSG, not everyone's mom can be trusted with your assets. They are Moroccan and still traditional values. Thank you, and have a blessed day for all. Well, bro, I'll let the comment section, the guys in the comment section, answer your question about how to protect things and all that, or just simply don't get married. You want to do relationships? If that's your thing, fine. Don't get married. Don't live with them. Wear protection. Provide your own protection. Expose your protection. And just have a, hey, whatever, take it or leave it attitude. And you'll be fine. Now, it'd be nice to go back to a time period where we can have traditional families. Because a big problem with the kids for a while now as they don't have two-parent households, and there's all this turmoil and drama, and the boys don't have a father to look up to, or if it's a father running the house, there isn't a mother there for what the son needs or the girl needs and all that. We need traditional household, traditional families again, the nuclear family. That has been decimated. But the problem is that until the government and the courts are more on men's side, at least making things fair, more guys are walking away, and I will most certainly lead the charge on that until things are more level. But yeah, it's a mess. But let the community answer your question about protect your assets and all that. Now on to the main story. That was a good one to go over before the story here. Now to the main story about the brother whose girlfriend got pregnant. He says, hi SSM. I think this story is better on the They Did What channel, but I'll leave it up to you where to share it. Well, it's coming on this channel. Those who saw my previous story already know a few things, but that was the bare minimum about this mess, so I will start from the beginning. My brother is 22 years old, and he came to me asking what to do. His girlfriend is pregnant, and her family urges the marriage because it's what honor, tradition, and religion dictates. Well, what does he want to do? I don't care what her family wants to do. What does he want to do? Because it's his life. But clearly already you can tell this guy's a nice guy. And what happens to nice guys? They finish last. Nice guys always put their needs and wants first. And they check their girl. Bad boys do the opposite. And who gets all the girls? At first I asked him, how could you be so stupid to go raw at this early age? He said he wasn't. They always use protection. The condom must have broke. That or she cheated. This triggered my brother and said that she would never cheat and stormed off. Now, nobody wants to think that the girl they love or they're with would ever cheat on them. Okay, I get that. But if you're going to just throw a tantrum and storm away like a fucking woman, you're asking for trouble. And you got to trust your brother here. But, well, watch how this turns out. Later I heard that my father advised to move in together, and if they do well for a couple of years, then consider marriage. He also told my brother that he should get a paternity test before signing the birth certificate, which again pissed off my brother. So now we have the older brother here who's telling the story what to do. The father's telling him what to do. Nope. Every time he's pissed off and storming away, having a little fucking tantrum. During the wedding, I gave my brother a sealed envelope as a gift. He asked, what is it? I told him it's a surprise. Do not open in front of your wife or during the wedding. You heard that part. He told him, do not open this in front of your wife. Unfortunately, he did, and the entire wedding went into an argument. Everyone, including my father, told me that the gift was inappropriate. That was not a question. However, his wife suggested to just get rid of it, which divided the guests in her favor. Then I revealed that my brother told that he always used a condom. When he confirmed this, that every man and some women, including the bride's mother, were on the side of using the paternity test. So you gave him a paternity test as a gift at the wedding. He said, don't open it in front of your wife. He does anyway, because he's pee-whipped. Drama unfolds. You can see that coming. And when he said what he had to say about the whole condom thing, I can't imagine this conversation going on at a goddamn wedding, but okay, fair enough. And now, even guys and even the bride's mother's questioning her now. During the wedding, the wife threw the paternity test in the garbage, but I managed to salvage it. At this point, I was 100% certain that she cheated. Well, I'm with you there, and I'm sure every guy watching this is with you there. I was also certain that my brother will never believe me, and he was already pissed. So I simply put it in his car when everyone had gone home. Dude, you've been doing what you can to help him. And at the end of the day, if his head is so far up his fucking ass that he's not going to listen to you, your dad, and other writing on the wall, then he has to deal with it. End of story. On the next day, I asked him if he still has my gift. He told me that, of course, why wouldn't he have it? Then I asked him to look around just to be sure. Late, he recalled that my gift was lost. Then I told him about his wife's first attempt to get rid of it, and that likely she got rid of it again. He called me a liar and then hung up. We didn't talk for months. This guy, he deserves what he gets. End of story. And of course his wife is hiding it. Gee, I wonder why. The next time he called me, he was apologizing. He told me that he was a fool. He hated me for giving him the doubt, but no matter how hard it was, it just didn't go away. Especially after my gift was mysteriously lost. At first he thought that I just wanted to ruin his marriage because I was exceedingly against marriage, but what if I'm right? Yeah, that's why you're doing this whole thing, because you're jealous or you just hate marriage, you want to ruin your brother's life. No, you're doing it to help him. In the end, his doubt got the better of him and ordered a brand new paternity test behind his wife's back and used it after the child was born. And wait for a gentleman, he was not the father. Gee, never saw that one coming. He had his marriage annulled and had a legal battle to get rid of his name from the birth certificate, which he won. The end. So what have we learned here, gentlemen? Paternity test. You have to, especially in this stage where cheating and having relations with every guy in town is pretty much encouraged by the feminist movement. You can't be a strong, empowered woman in 2023 without having relations with every guy in freaking the university, because, of course, that's what every guy does. And just, it's absurd. It's called Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. Two things got to happen nowadays all the time. Every guy has to hire a PI before he considers getting married, or even just if he's in a serious relationship. I kid you not. And two, paternity test, DNA test. Can you imagine if every guy did that when the child was born? Can you imagine the chaos going on? How many guys out there who think that their dad is not their dad? I mean, just, and the stories I read, and some places are starting to make it legal that you have to have a paternity test. That'd be great. But anyhow, guys, always wear protection. Always provide your own protection. Always dispose of your protection. And never believe she's on the pill. And if you're doing all that and she still gets pregnant, then you darn well have every right to demand, not ask, demand a paternity test to protect yourself. Because otherwise, and once your name's on that birth certificate, that's going to unravel a whole lot of problems. So, of course, I believe, I've heard stories that some states don't care. Because once it's on there and he finds out that she cheated and the paternity test said, it's not my kid, some states say, tough shit, you pay. Because as a state, we're not going to pay, so you're going to pay, man. And for 18 long years, you're paying for some kid that ain't yours. It's terrible. But this is why I do what I do. And I don't know why people hate me and other channels for what I bring into people's, bring reality to everyone. But it is what it is. So anyhow, guys, that'd be a good one to go over here. And then many lessons learned. And by the way, I want to point out, I guarantee this gal knew this guy was a nice guy type, that she'd get pregnant with whoever's kid, would stay with her, wouldn't question what she would do, and this is what you got. Because remember, they want to roll in the hay with the bad boys, Chad and Tyrone, but at the end of the day, they're going to pick the stable, sure thing, nice guy to stay with, because they know that he wouldn't question things. If this guy didn't bring this up, seriously, if this brother didn't say what he had to say to him, and the father, and keep just coming after him about this whole thing, he could be married to her to this day and raising that kid for the rest of his life and not wouldn't even think about that. So, to the bro who wrote this, I think you're a good brother that really just, even though your younger brother's being a jackass, you just wouldn't let up, and now he owes you big time. Absolutely. You need to send this video to your younger brother. He sees this. Younger brother, you were a jackass. Your head was so far up your fucking ass, I can't. But you know what? Your brother helped you, and you need to thank your brother. So guys, give this guy a shout out in the comment section for sticking by his younger brother here and helping him out, even though the younger brother, in my opinion, didn't deserve so much of the help. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you got a great story you'd like to share, definitely email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just get some time to get to it, and I definitely will. I got a huge backlog of emails I got to go through, particularly because I've been so busy with the move down to Florida. Down to Florida, by the way. Just kind of loving it down here. And so, but give me time and I'll get to it when I can. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.